Hello, I'm Oscar Ribello. 2012 was a year where the world was supposed to end. It did not end, but Prudent's head-on program finishes and completes 200 episodes today. So we are on this side of the firing line, me, your host, and my co-host, the de facto leader of the opposition of Goa today, Alesh Reginald, and we are going to be grilling the man who's had the opportunity and who's had the privilege of actually putting many of his guests on the map, and we're going to try to do that. Our guest for tonight, Mr. Pramod Acharya, editor of Prudent Media.
Thank you, Dr. Thank you, Alex. Thanks for accepting this invitation.
Did we have a choice? Pramod, माझा पहिलो प्रश्न तुका 200 एपिसोड हेड-ऑनाचे सोंपता आज. तुका वो हेड-ऑन प्रोग्राम म्हणल्यार जर्नलिस्टा प्रमाणे कितें म्हणून आशिल्लें? Was it a platform for you to ask questions? Was it a platform for you to seek answers from the people you were interviewing? Or was it a platform, importantly, for you in some way to set an agenda for Goa?
There were two aspects into it. पहिली गजाल म्हळ्यार जशें तुमी म्हळें की अलेक्साक खबर आमी प्रेस कॉन्फरन्साक बी मेळटात, प्रेस कॉन्फरन्साक क्वेश्चन आन्सर्स जातात. पण जाता कितें की एक खंयचो जर मेजर इशू आसा बियॉन्ड अ पॉयंट यू कॅनॉट ड्रॅग इट इन द प्रेस कॉन्फरन्स बिकॉज समबडी एल्स टेक्स ओवर आस्क अनदर क्वेश्चन. सो वॉट वी थॉट इज दॅट की एवरी वीक हॅज इट्स न्यूज मेकर. To think it from television point of view, every week has a newsmaker, and त्या न्यूजमेकराच्या बाबतीत लोकांच्या मनात कितलेशेच प्रश्न असतात. म्हज्याच न्ही लोकांच्या मनात असतात. त्या लोकांच्या मनातले प्रश्न केन्ना कोण उत्तर करतलो? कारण एक गजाल जातली प्रेस कॉन्फरन्स काय आमी फूल हाडून कवर करून दाखोवची ना. वील शो ओनली एक्सर्ट्स, टिट्स एंड बिट्स ऑफ इट, आनी तातूंतल्यान न्यूज व्हॅल्यू आहा तेच घेतले. बट त्या विकातलो इशू आनी त्या इशूचो न्यूजमेकर हांकां हाडून लोकांच्या मनातले प्रश्न विचारप.
पण तूं हरशीं लोकांक विचारतालो, तूं प्रोग्राम करच्या पयलीं लोकांक विचारतालो थ्रू फेसबुक, थ्रू सोशल मिडिया, वॉट कायंड ऑफ क्वेश्चन्स यू नीडेड टू आस्क, or were they your questions because clearly this program had your imprint, had your signature as it were.
When I started,
so was it your questions, or were you trying to get answers to people's questions?
दोन गजाली. I always, one thing I did always की जेन्ना हांव स्टुडियो भितर सरतालो, I used to think that I am not a journalist. I am not anybody. I am just a common man. And I don't know anything. म्हळ्यार कांय गजाली तांचे सुद्दां भितरले आमकां खबर आसतात. असं चल्लें तसं चल्लें. I don't know it. म्हाका खबर आसना. I just don't know anything. म्हळ्यार फाल्यां अलेक्साच्या आनी खंयच्या आमदाराचें जर कितें तरी लफडें जालें जाल्यार म्हाका घडये खबर आसतलें. बट वेन आय एम सिटींग हियर आय डोंट नो इट. आय ऑलवेज ट्राय टू गेट इट फ्रॉम हिम.
So that is
इट्स अ कॉमन मॅन्स क्वेरी की अशें कित्याक जालें, अशें कित्याक जालें. सो when you sit there as a common man, you will always get better questions, because when you sit there as a journalist, there are certain impressions that you already have in your mind. There is certain information that you already have in your mind.
But was it the whole exercise for you on head on? Was it an exercise for you to extract information for the general public? Or was it for you in some ways also to be judgmental and to probably pass some kind of an opinion on your guest?
Definitely, some kind of opinion. I never used to pass an opinion. They used to pass an opinion on themselves. By the time the program ended,
you used to create an opinion.
They used to create for themselves.
Would you say that you were a trigger to create an opinion?
I was just a trigger. I was not the bullet.
So essentially, you called your guests to commit suicide on your program.
I don't want to say that. None of them committed suicide. But yes, एक जालें हेडॉनांतल्यान कॉन्ट्रोवर्सीज भरपूर जाल्यो. लोकांचे कडच्यान सदांच एक रिएक्शन येतालें की बाय द टायम दे आर इनटू 10th or 12th minute of the program, they start talking truth.
तुजो एक मेमोरेबल कॅरेक्टर, मेमोरेबल इंटरव्यू आमकां सांग एक.
Definitely, the मनोहर पर्रीकराचो रेन्सीड पिकलाचो जाल्लो, where even national media picked it up. Every national channel was running that interview.
No, but that is because the national media picked it up. Personally, for you, was there some kind of a question that you asked that provoked a kind of an answer that was probably?
It happened in that interview because first time मनोहर पर्रीकर said that जेन्ना विचारलें की तुमी राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष जावपाक तयार आसात काय कितें, परत आज तोच इशू आमी डिस्कस करतात. ताणें म्हळें की let the bridge come, I will think about it. I said, if the bridge comes, you will think about it. He said, no, let the bridge come, I'll think about it. I said, I'm just asking you a normal thing. If the bridge comes, you will think about crossing it.
Memorable bit, before I pass it on to my co-host, one more thing that I want, a little more difficult question, is what was the toughest interview you did and who was the most despicable character that you got on your...
Toughest interview I have won. I don't want to name because
you have to. You have to. This is
not
this
because
is
of
an
that.
interview. This is no. This is
not
a
because of that.
thing.
Because I'm not blaming that politician for that.
No, you tell us which was the toughest interview. Why? No, it doesn't matter. Hardly matters. This is a.
See,
and you can't
the
edit it
interview
back
was after Narari Aldankar's brother contested against Vishwajit, the by-election, where Vishwajit won by around 8,000 votes. आणि ताजे उपरांत ताणी भायर येवन एक पावरफुल स्टेटमेंट केल्लें की लोकांनी पयशे खाले नात, लोक पयशे जेवले म्हणून. That was a very powerful statement. Means that was after that result, that statement.
कोणे म्हणले? विश्वजितान म्हणले की
Narari Aldankar's brother.
हरशी जेवयता.
No, not Vishwajit. His brother said that why I am defeated because of that. की लोकांनी पयशे खाले नात, लोक जेवले, and that one statement set the agenda for the entire debate afterwards. So we said ki if this guy can speak in such a great manner, make such a nice statement, he'll be best to interview. आणि आम्ही ताका हाडलो. But he was not fluent that way. ना तांकां political हातूंतलोय तसो experience नाशिल्लो, public platformaचो experience नाशिल्लो. Practically what happened is that he was giving me answers in one line. So I exhausted all my questions in 10 minutes. Then I started explaining my own questions. Still he was giving me answers in one line. By the time 20th minute, for the first time in this entire 200 episode, I started looking at my watch. That when will those 20 to 23 minutes will get over?
So this was a tough one. And who,
very tough one.
Okay, you may not name this, but who was one of the most despicable interviewees you had? You know, someone who actually made you feel sick interviewing.
It is not sick. I wouldn't call sick. एक असो इंटरव्यू असता जंय यू नो सर्टन थिंग्स, जशें म्हळ्यार की एज बीइंग अ जर्नलिस्ट यू नो सर्टन थिंग्स, यू आर ट्रायंग टू गेट दॅट थिंग आउट ऑफ इट, एंड दॅट पर्सन इज गिविंग यू ऑल आयडियलिस्टीक आन्सर्स.
स्टोन वॉलिंग.
स्टोन वॉलिंग कंप्लीटली कितेंय विचारता स्टोन वॉल करता.
एक क्लू दी, कोण पळता क्लू पण दी.
नो प्रॉब्लेम. इट वॉज दिगंबर कामत when he was chief minister. Digambar replies to your questions in such a way that तू ताका कॉर्नर करपाक तुका भरपूर त्रास काडची पडटा. इवन इट्स ऑल आन्सर्स आर आयडियलिस्टिक.
दिगंबर कामत तेल घालनासतना वाज अ व्हेरी स्लिपरी कस्टमर.
तो इतले की तुगेले तू इवन ताका मनोहर पर्रीकराचेर प्रश्न विचार, तो इतले आयडियलिस्टिक आन्सर दितलो की तुका दिसतलें की शी कित्या विचारलो प्रश्न हांवें.
सो ही वाज अ कॅरेक्टर हू कुड बीट एन इंटरव्यू. हरेश बाब,
I am telling you, Pramod Bab, that you have made a point that you are whatever you have interviewed is your own idea. I am telling you no. I'll tell you why. Because you have got other programs. You have got Lok Shahi, you have got Hi Hi and all that. Whatever is said here, on the other side, in the other programs, you beat it. म्हणजे you contradict this. So that तुम्ही हुई wrong गेले जाल्यार think correct करतात तुम्ही. So what I am telling you, that you are not making your own opinion. I am trying to say that somebody is telling you to make your opinion for obvious reasons. Could be anything. Is it right or wrong?
See, जोर तो म्हणटा की आमच्या एक प्रोग्रामा भितर एक ओपिनियन मेळटा आणि दुसरी प्रोग्रामा भितर दुसरी ओपिनियन मेळटा. Then I would say that proves that we are neutral. We are not promoting only one agenda.
No, I have said
we are not promoting only one opinion.
I have said that you are not.
Or we are not setting an agenda.
No. I have not said that you are making different opinions. I am saying that if you make a mistake, Prudent makes a mistake, you all correct it in Lok Shahi, Hi Hi, or the other programs of yours.
I don't think so, because कारण प्रत्येक प्रोग्राम.
I am not saying this. People are saying this.
प्रत्येक प्रोग्रामाचं स्वतःचं गेटअप आसा आणि प्रत्येक प्रोग्रामा भितर सी एडिटोरियली we can take a line in news. न्यूज बुलेटिना भितर वी विल हॅव अ पॉलिसी की आमी हे फॉलो करतात. फॉर एक्झाम्पल खंयचीच कम्युनल गजाल आसली, एनवायरमेंटलाची गजाल आसली, वी आर व्हेरी फर्म ऑन इट इन न्यूज बुलेटिन्स. In our programs, there will be variety of opinions that will be coming up in different.
Why I said it also, programs. If you go to see, 9 months have passed. Your TV and on the news line is still showing what Manohar Parrikar said when he was the opposition leader in an interview. Then they're showing Babushi storming case. Still that thing continues. So what I'm trying to tell you that you are also part of the whole program. Like the government goes by government. Is it the case that because of advertisements, because of because of advertisements, because of government pressures, you have been told to do something?
No.
Do you create an opinion like that?
Till now, even I have interviewed you. I never gave my questions, or I never used to sit with a paper. So I never used to prepare a question.
From inside you would get the questions.
No, who is there inside? आय एम गेटिंग ओनली 5 मिनटं जाली, 10 मिनटं जाली, 15 मिनटं जाली, 20 मिनटं
No,
जाली.
Alesh to kit vitarpa sutta, and I think I'll put it bluntly.
Yes.
Particularly in view of the mining imbroglio that we are faced with right now, and the fact that Prudent Media is owned by the mining house, I have great regard for your proprietors' capacity to secularism, to very open and transparent ways of functioning. But is there pressure from your proprietors on editorial freedoms, particularly to do with mining?
See,
particularly to do with mining.
Let me be very clear on it. Till date, म्हाका आजपर्यंत केन्नाच सांगलें ना कोणेच की हे अशी कवर कर आनी अशी कवर करनाका. Why I am saying this, and I'll speak with an evidence also. ज्या दिसाक शाह कमिशनाचो रिपोर्ट आयलो, त्या दिसाक we were the first one to go live with that report, saying this is it, these are the illegalities, this is what Shah Commission is pointing out. ज्या दिसाक CEC चो रिपोर्ट आयलो, त्या दिसाक आमीच सगळ्यात पयलीं लायव्ह गेले की हे पळय ह्यो सगळ्यो गजाली आसात. We have conducted debates on different aspects of mining, calling all sides. Now, अशी न्ही की फाल्यां because it miningaचो impact आसा, so we blacked out environmentalists, or miningaचो impact आसा, so we only focused on dependents. We haven't done that. We haven't done that because of the very.
You are happy as an editor to have given a well-rounded picture as far as the mining story in particular is concerned.
We did not black out a single opinion about mining, whether it is pro-mining or whether it is anti-mining. I can very well say that, and there was no pressure from anybody to say that हे दाखय किंवा हे दाखय नाका किंवा ही लाइन घे किंवा ही लाइन घे नाका, because एक गजाल आसा, अल्टिमेटली तूं सांगता तशें सगळ्यांची नजर प्रुडंटाची आसतल्यो की ह्या टायमार प्रुडंट कितें करता, ह्या टायमार प्रुडंट कितें करता. This is the time where we have to prove our credibility. If we fail to prove our credibility in these times, when will we do it?
Do you think mining will start?
Depends upon whether you and Manohar Parikar sit across the table and sort it out.
No, I asked you a specific question. Yes or no, I want it from you.
Can't say because.
So Pramod Acharya says can't say. No, why I said it because Manohar Parikar.
Supreme Court जरी जालें तरी स्टेट गव्हर्नमेंटान सस्पेन्शन केलें तें जावपाक जाय, तुमी एनवायरमेंट क्लियरन्सीस दिल्ली सावन दिवपाक जाय. So how can Pramod Acharya opine about it?
Okay. We'll switch to I think you've answered this reasonably well. What does journalism mean to you? At a very personal level, what does it mean to you?
At a very personal level, I will say it is everyday fighting.
Fighting with what? Fighting sometimes with others, fighting with your conscience, fighting with your views, fighting with your ideas.
Everything.
What?
Because see, there are instances like the Delhi rape case. Every journalist is fighting. He's fighting for a cause.
No, that exactly brings me back to the previous question I asked you, Pramod. Particularly now in the electronic age, where you have so many eyeballs watching you, and you can actually influence minds. Wherein the print media takes, you have to be highly readable. You should really be reading the op-ed pages to get yourself influenced. Television is instant sort of education, as it were. Do you think, in your opinion, electronic media across Goa, I mean all three main channels that are there in Goa, have you all been able to sort of influence public opinion on various issues affecting Goa to your satisfaction?
Electionच्या टायमार आमकां सामकें जाणवलें. Electionच्या टायमार मॅक्झिमम लोकांनी सांगलें, इवन आय थिंक यू विल ऑल्सो एग्री, की वी स्टार्टेड असेंब्ली लायव्ह. It created huge impact. I think probably more than the coverage.
That is a technical. No, that is a technical decision you all took to cover the assembly, and so therefore assembly reached the people. I'm not talking about technical. I'm talking about taking on an issue.
Yes, definitely.
And then thrashing that issue to its logical conclusion.
Yeah.
Has electronic media done that?
We exposed drugs case.
With a sting case.
Sting case, Atala sting case. From there onwards, policemen भितर गेले. त्यानंतर सेकंड राउंडा भितर जेन्ना आमी परत एक्सपोज केले, हाव एनसी वेर कॉप्स इन इट, इवन गुडलरा सारखे मनीस येले, जस्ट नाव वी गॉट बेल. सो
तुका कितले म्हणून तुमकां की तुमची जर्नलिस्टांक पर्टिक्युलरली ऑन द ग्राउंड कसले थ्रेट्स आसता, कसली धमक्यो आसता?
हांव सदांच म्हणटा की थ्रेट्स डेफिनेटली व्हेन यू आर टेकिंग ऑन बॅड पीपल, दे विल ऑलवेज ट्राय टू डू बॅड थिंग्स टू यू. दे विल नेवर ट्राय टू डू गुड थिंग्स टू यू. But then that is the sustenance power which will define what we are. ती मागीर ड्रग्साचो इशू जावं किंवा आनी खंयच्याय इलिगॅलिटीचो इशू जावं, इवन रिजनल प्लॅनाच्या टायमार दोतोर तुमकां खबर ना, जेन्ना मिडिया इतली बसताली तेन्ना कितले थ्रेट्स येताले न्ही. बट देन एवरीबडी सस्टेन्ड इट. I think that is what defines us. If I cannot sustain a single phone call